Hey guys, the ADS crew is here to introduce you to our new Pro Coating. This is one that DJ and myself are extremely excited to get out into the market. It's been a long time coming. We have a lot to unpack in this video, so let's get to it. Big news, our Pro Coating version 2 is now going to be available to everyone. Our previous Pro Coating, while it was extremely durable, extremely chemical resistant, super hydrophobic, some of the feedback we've gotten over the last couple of years has been that it is hard to install. We knew about this going into Pro, but we were okay with the performance of the coating. It's the reason why it was kind of behind a paywall and you needed to get vetted and approved to install that coating is because we knew for a new coating installer, it was going to be a little bit tricky. So for the last few years, we have been working diligently and really hard, digging into some new technology to be able to release and launch our new Pro Coating version 2 that is now going to be available to everyone because it is such a simple coating to use. So with the new Pro Coating, while making it easier, we didn't want to sacrifice the durability, the chemical resistance, and the hydrophobics, gloss, slickness that you were used to with Pro. We wanted to find a way to keep those qualities, but make it easier to use. So for the last few years, our chemists and us have been digging into some new technology. This is actually where Phobic stemmed out of. So as you know, Phobic has come to market recently and it's been a huge splash in ease of use and really great durability for a spray coating. That stemmed out of our research into the Pro Coating. This new Pro Coating uses a lot of the new silazane technology, but what's really unique about this coating is the bonding mechanism. So our chemist was referring it to us as what he called a layer sinking, but basically what it is a dual phase bonding system. So it's a lot to unpack, but basically what's happening on the surface as you're applying the coating is you're doing your first application, it's bonding. Right? It's starting to flash, it bonds, it soaks into the paint with that first initial application. Then when you come back with your first initial wipe towel and you're leveling the coating for that first wipe, it's again bonding a second time onto that layer that has already bonded, basically giving you a multi-layer system, not exactly the same as applying 2 layers of coating separately, but we're getting a much stronger bond with the first layer and then a second layer on top with that dual layer bonding system to be able to give you extreme durability, extreme slickness, extreme gloss, chemical resistance, while making the coating still a joy to install. So now you're aware of all the kind of formulation changes that happened with the new Pro Coating. There's also a few changes that we're able to make just to kind of form and function, rudimentary changes that will make a big difference. So if you know our previous Pro Coating, it came in a solid black bottle. This was by design to make sure that it didn't cure too fast. With this coating, it's much more stable. There's a little bit more solvency to it to be able to kind of keep it better long term. So we have it now in a kind of smoked green bottle. You're able to clearly see how much coating is left so you can monitor it as you're working through the car, really just making it easier for you so that you're able to kind of see that. And again, we're able to also extend the use by date. So previous Pro Coating, you had about 7 days before it might start getting a little bit gummy in the bottle. It wasn't not usable, it just could have got a little bit harder to use after a week. With this new Pro Coating, we have on there 30 days use by. Again, that is just to get the exact same application experience that you would have got when you freshly opened it. You can use it much long after that 30 days. It's just gonna kind of be up to you to kind of decide how long that flash time is gonna be. And there might be a little bit of risk in using it, you know, in terms of durability. But as long as the coating is liquid, it is totally okay to use. And it's another great feature of the new Pro Coating, just being you know, easier to use all around, not only applying it, but also just the handling of it, the usability of it. It's just a much more versatile, you know, coating, and we think it's going to go a long way for shops and consumers alike.
So while our new Quartz Pro coating is great, it can't do the prep work for you. Let's hop in and dig in and make sure we do the proper prep steps. All right, first step of the coating process, what you're gonna do is start with our ADS Decon wash. It's our high pH wash. It's really gonna help break down any of the film, the road grime, remove any existing sealants or waxes that may be present on the surface. Then after that step, you can head on over to our chemical decon. You're gonna wanna go in with an iron remover. Our ADS iron remover is fantastic for this step. The cool part about it is you can combine that with our mechanical decon with our clay. So if you wanna do iron as your clay lubricant and clay scrubbers, clay mitt, clay towels right over top of it, that's a great way to do a 2-in-1. After that step, we highly recommend going in with our machine polishing. That's where most of your gloss and reflection is gonna be done. You don't absolutely have to, but it's always gonna be preferred. After doing all your machine polishing, you're gonna wanna grab your ADS panel prep, and you're gonna wanna do a healthy application of panel prep throughout the car, kind of go panel by panel. That's really gonna ensure that all your machine polishing oils are removed and getting the car ready for your new Quartz Pro coating.
All right, guys, now that you have learned everything you need to know about the new formulation for our Pro coating and why we came up with it, let's have DJ walk you through a full installation of the coating on this hood.
Hey guys, first thing you're gonna need 2 towels, a leveling towel and a second wipe towel. Applicator, coating. First thing first, always wanna make sure you shake up your coating, get everything activated. To start, you're gonna apply a little bit more than normal to kind of get it going. We usually recommend 3 lines. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna start with a small area, kind of get comfortable with our work section first. What we're gonna do is kind of do an X, box it in, and then we're gonna start in one of the 4 corners. Small overlapping circles. The biggest thing with the coating is you wanna make sure you have even coverage. You don't wanna have a whole bunch built up in a corner.
So realistically, DJ, how big of a work section should they start with at first?
Generally want to do about a 2x2, 3x3, kind of like a shoulder width section.
Shoulder width.
Yeah, you know, kind of get something, you know, you're comfortable with. You know, the one thing we want people to do is make sure that they have a good experience. We don't want them to get too far out.
Perfect. And then how do they know that they've applied enough product, or if they've got too little on the surface? What should they be looking for, and that sort of deal?
So you're gonna see kind of like a uniform haze. You don't want to have any inconsistencies in the product. You just kind of want to see that it's flashing kind of.
You want to make sure that you're seeing liquid being applied to the surface.
Yep, absolutely. If you don't see it going on to the paint, you didn't apply enough.
Yep.
So with this, right now, we're in ideal conditions. It's 70 degrees, 55% humidity. So right now, we're probably gonna be like in that 20 to 30 second time frame.
And right now, what are you looking for to make sure that you know it's ready to wipe off?
Right now I'm just looking for a uniform finish, just to make sure it's kind of, you know, haze consistently in our application area.
Hazy or some like beading action.
Yeah, you can see some small sweat beads as well. Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
And then the same way that I applied is kind of going to be the same way that I do my first application towel. I like to use our short nap towel. The one thing I want people to do is I don't want you to try to level it off like a quick detailer. Get in there. Small overlapping circles. Your first wipe, you should be getting about 95% of the coating off or leveled off with your first wipe. If you are chasing any more than a little bit of residue with your second towel, you didn't do enough with the first. Always be mindful of adjacent panels where you possibly push coating. Once you kind of see that everything's leveled pretty nicely, go to your second towel. Again, start in the same spot.
And the second towel is kind of your insurance wipe, just to make sure that you've got everything wiped off. Again, this coating functions off of a dual bonding system. So that first way you apply it, it's bonding once. That first leveling towel, it's again being spread around even more and bonding a second time on top of the original layer of coating that had bonded. So that's why you'll see kind of a little bit of a smeary look when you're wiping that first towel. And then this second towel is that full leveling wipe to get a crystal clear finish. And then if Devin wants to pan in here, you can just kind of see nothing left behind. It's a very easy application. We want to stress that enough, that this application is super, super easy. So the main thing we focused on, improving the old Pro is the ease of application, to be able to get it in the hands of everyone. We want everyone to be able to use this product and enjoy it. Consumers, people that are just installing coatings for the first time, this is going to be a great option for you to get that top tier protection. So yeah, you can just see how easy that is, and super duper slick. Again, that's what we focused on with this coating.
Once you kind of get a feel for your work section and you're in an ideal environment, you can start doing bigger sections. So in our test section, we did our shoulder width, but now that we're comfortable and we're working in a controlled environment, we can do about half this hood at a time. We could do half a hood. We could do, say, a fender. We could kind of do a door. We can kind of isolate stuff in. So what we're going to do is get rolling with half the application. I'm still going to kind of box in my sections, and then we'll kind of work it in at that point.
And again, that test section that you guys did with the shoulder width, that is going to help you determine how big of a section you can do, because you'll really be able to see how fast that coating's splashing and how fast you need to wipe it off. Again, we're in ideal conditions here. You may not. If it's really humid for you, or if it's really hot, you may need to shrink that section down. You may be able to extend it out kind of how DJ is right now. Again, ideal conditions, we could do half a hood, a full fender, full door. If you're, in California, really hot, or in some area that's really humid, you may only be able to do a quarter of a hood or a half a door. That's totally fine as well. Just kind of, work it out that way and see what works best for you.
And you're going to tell when you no longer see product being transferred from your applicator to your paint. Stop, take a second, apply a little bit more coating. This is now my new section. I'm just going to keep on continuing.
So you can see, if you look right here, how much coating is being applied. That's really what you want to see when you're applying that coating. If you're not getting a nice even layer that's being applied and you can't really see it going on, like DJ said, load up that applicator again, get some more product on there. Again, this is a coating. It needs to be able to kind of migrate into the paint and, get a nice layer on there to be able to flash and fully cure properly. So again, you can see DJ, every section, he's still doing that shoulder width section. He's not just going ahead and applying to the whole half of the hood with one application. So every kind of shoulder width, let's say 2x2, 3x3 section, he's adding roughly 10 to 12 more drops of product onto the applicator to keep that going. He's not just doing 10 to 12 drops and applying to the whole hood. You still want to kind of break it up so that you're having the right amount of distribution of product going onto the paint at one time.
Yeah, and if you have plastic pieces, coat them as well.
Yeah, like DJ said, so you can go on the paint. Obviously, if you have some brand new plastics on a new car, go right over those. This coating as well works great on PPF. So all those kind of surfaces are great for this Pro coating.
Yep. And my recommendation, anytime you stop to do your leveling, put your cap back on before you reapply, kind of give it a quick shake, just good practice.
Yep. Keep the coating fresh, and then also if you knock it over, you don't have the chance of wasting a good amount of product.
And now I'm going to level off in the same way that I applied.
Again, circular motions, just kind of respreading that product again, allowing it to do that double bonding procedure to bond again. With that first leveling towel, you're not kind of grinding it off like an old wax. You're just kind of smooth and precisely just kind of slowly working it more into the paint. And then DJ is going to follow back up with that second towel to basically final level and final finish out to make sure there's no streaks or high spots or anything like that.
And always remember, you want to make sure you're getting the majority of your coating off with your first wipe. Your second towel is not designed to chase anything. It's just like Bradley said, it's your insurance wipe and that last 5% that you may have missed or pushed over onto an adjacent panel.
Yep. And like DJ said, make sure, especially if you're doing like this half the hood, you're gonna kind of go over to the other half the hood a little bit make sure you're not spreading any coating. Let's say you're doing this fender, you're gonna go up into the hood and up and down into the bumper, just to make sure you're not spreading that coating and you're getting it fully off, not leaving any high spots on adjacent panels. And there you go, you can see JJ is using that second towel, that second plush wipe towel, just as a great final finishing. Leaves a great finish and gets all that, excess solvent and product up. And you'll start to feel that extreme slickness come through from the new Pro Coating.
And you'll notice when I get to the edges, I don't just go here. I always am overlapping all my adjacent panels, just good practice.
And there you go. So that is half of that hood now coated. And again, you would just basically replicate that over the rest of the car. So you've got your process down at this point and you're ready to just kind of smash on and get the rest of the car coated and proceed from there. So
yeah, find out what works for you and your environment, but always start small, work up to the larger sections.
So now you've seen the application on kind of a broad scale. Let's dig in close on a surface level and show you the application, what the flashing looks like, and the wipe off. So while DJ's back here finishing up the installation of the Pro Coating, let's talk about possible layering, the cure time, as well as the aftercare of the Pro Coating. So our previous formulation of the Pro Coating, you had to wait 12 hours before you could get it wet and up to 7 days before inducing any chemicals or washing the vehicle. This just extended the amount of time that you would have to keep the car indoors, which could get kind of annoying. So as you can see, the theme of this video is just a lot of different changes that work together to make such an exceptional product. So the new Pro Coating, 4 hours before you can get it wet, so you can release it after that 4 hours, and then 24 hours before any washing or inducing any chemicals. Also, if you would like to, you can top the Pro Coating with our phobic spray coating. If you want to do this, just wait 1 to 2 hours in that time frame. You can go ahead and install phobic. Basically what it would work out to is go around the car, coat it with a Pro, come right back around with phobic, and you'll have that kind of nice dual layer system if you want that. So now you know absolutely everything there is to know about the new Quartz Pro Coating. Formulation changes, packaging changes, what it looks like on an application level, at the surface level, broad scale, how to apply it. You guys are armed and ready to go ahead and install your new Pro Coatings. Again, it's available to everyone. Pick it up. We know you guys are gonna love it. Super slick, super durable, crazy easy to use. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments below. As always, happy detailing, and thank you guys for watching.